Friends, we're back with another Blaha video he just posted. So, I'm going to react to the gym lifting, recruiting, fitness, gear slaves video. So, the bumbleclot of the fitness industry himself, JasonBlaha, says carbohydrates and healthy fats are invaluable for lean gains. Carbohydrates are not a nutrient, nor are they a necessity in human diets at all.
Hey everybody, it's JasonBlaha here representing JasonBlaha Strength and Fitness, and today I want to chat with you guys.
And his definition of healthy fats is eat seed oils. Wow. Okay.
And guys, a little bit about the importance of carbohydrates and healthy fats for
the importance. They're not important, man. It's a known fact you'll cause something called glycation if you eat carbohydrates. Okay, it's an option. Okay, it's like this. It's preference. If you wanna use a complex carbohydrate, if you're lifting, okay. But here's the thing: it's not something I truly recommend you do. I always say in my videos, you should experiment with animal fat and meat and complex carbohydrate. But here's the thing. The bottom line is, if you truly want to look good, here's the thing. If you really are into really looking better, like looking good, then you definitely want to switch from any carbohydrate to animal fat, eating more animal fat and lifting, okay? That's a known fact. You want to eat more animal fat in your diet and protein, okay? Like seafood and meat, whatever, animal products. So you could get a lot of fat from if you could get milk or raw milk wherever you live, I don't know. You could get fat also. You could buy, like in the market, they cut pieces of fat off meat all the time. They have them there in the window, they sell them. You could or when you buy your meat, buy some meat with a lot of fat on it, cut that fat. You can grind it up, and you can, if you have to fry it, you could fry it up with your ground beef. So you want more fat in your ground beef. So yeah, here's the thing. And if you go to like a buffet or restaurant, just do what I do, eat a lot of fatty fish. I compensate for the lack of fat in the meat that I eat there, the beef, if it's too lean. I eat a lot of fish. I eat more seafood because it's fatty. There's a lot more fatty acids in there. So that offsets it. So you really want to eat a lot of fats. If you're a lifter and you want to look young and you want to look better, your physique, you physically, everything. If that is your goal, to be better and healthy, if I were you, I would start switching from a complex or whatever, a carbohydrate, whatever you're doing there, carbs, to animal fat. That's all. It's really simple, dude. And the truth is, you know what? You're going to probably run a lot better. Your body's going to run a lot better. This is preference, okay? Me personally, I find that I do run better on animal fat, okay? As an energy source, I feel and run better on animal fat. So that must say something. But people have used, as a young person, I have used complex carbohydrates. It didn't affect me when I was younger. But it affected me when I got older, all right? So I can't do it.
Gaining lean muscle over time. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like down below, be greatly appreciated. If you're not following or subscribed,
look at the stress. Did you see the stress of that? Tim trying to lift that weight? He stressed like crazy. So that's the goal. I want to stress my body. The whole point about building myofibrillar growth is that when you do lift that weight, it's actually very light. It doesn't stress your body. There's zero stress. But his body's stressing because he has a weak body, but he has hormones he's injecting and lifting the heavy weight. So it's like this. You take a lot more hormones, but your body stays the same, small and weak. So you're able to lift something heavier because of the hormone. It's binding with the receptor, giving you more force production. It's like I'm recruiting more of these androgen receptors, these motor units. I'm recruiting motor units. You are. But guess what? Your body stayed the same, weak. And so you're stressing the shit out of it. That makes zero sense to stress your body. The smartest thing a person does is build myofibulars, build your body really strong. So then you can lift these so-called heavy weights without any stress to your body. And you eat more. So less lifting, more eating, and more growing, and less stress.
Be kind enough to drop me a comment down below. I'd appreciate
This
it so
guy,
much.
this guy's such a fool. You're breaking collagen down in your body. And this is another reason why you may want to switch from carbohydrates to animal fats, because you're breaking down collagen. And if you are eating carbohydrates, they may aid in breaking them down a lot faster. Now, you may not see it right now when you're young, all this damage you're causing, but it'll come out eventually later down the line, and it'll be bad. Trust me.
So, these are topics that I think that we have to think about. We have to understand if we're going to talk about nutrition, we're going to talk about gaining muscle, while minimizing body fat, improving performance, improving athleticism.
What athleticism? He's not athletic. What athleticism and all this kind of stuff? He's bullshit. He's full of shit. If you're working towards athleticism, then you want to build myofibular growth. This is pointless to be lifting a heavy weight. I'm going to recruit motor units and androgen receptors. Okay, yeah.
Like, these two things have to be discussed. It's not all about protein, because again, outside.
It is. He's been watching my videos. It is about protein. Everything is about massive amounts of protein to build myofibulars. That's all. That is the end goal. That should be everybody's goal, bro. Not, I'm going to try to recruit motor units so I can see if I can lift the heaviest weight by recruiting as many motor units as I can on my skinny, weak little body. My skinny, weak, unathletic, shitty body.
In the context of protein overfeeding, we only need a fairly high protein diet to really maximize.
There's no such thing as protein overfeeding. There is protein synthesis needs to exceed the rate of protein breakdown. It isn't, I need 32 grams of protein or 100 grams or 32 grams, or I need a gram of protein per body weight. That isn't how it works in bodybuilding. That might work in the fantasy world, man's world, walking down the street, or a factory worker or whatever, or somebody, I don't know. Somebody that's out there, not even factory workers, it won't work. I'll tell you this much. I think I started around somewhere 10 in the morning putting away those wood blocks, okay, the wood chips. We burn wood up north, okay? They're quite heavy. These pieces are quite heavy. So in the beginning, I started picking up 2 at a time, the first bushel. Wow, it took me all night. I practically 8:30 at night. I took a few breaks, drank water, barely took any breaks. And I just kept working from 10 all the way to like fucking 9 o'clock at night, man, putting these fucking blocks, stacking them up. The first one, because it was closer, I just grabbed 2, walked, put them down. Grabbed 2, walked, and I kept doing that 2 at a time, putting them down. Then I got my wheelbarrow, went to the other part, started putting them in the wheelbarrow, pushing the wheelbarrow back, putting them down again. I had to bend, pick them up. Bro, my body hurt. Like, that kind of soreness is bad. Like, I was really sore. I was almost crippled. Like, I could barely walk. My hips, my legs hurt. Everything hurt really bad. My back, bro. Then the next day, it kind of hurt too. But guess what? By the second day, it didn't really hurt that much. The second day, it didn't hurt because that's a bad kind of soreness. That isn't like micro damage. That isn't micro damage where it's done in like a short period of time. I actually fucking destroyed my body, bro, working that hard. That destroys your... Can imagine factory workers working six hours. I used to work factory before when I was younger once. When I was a young person. You can work there like, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 hours a day in a factory. One break or whatever, lunch. So, yeah, you're really destroying your body. How much protein do you need to put back after you've been slaving in the factory for 8 hours every day? That's crazy.
Muscle growth. And beyond that, it's not even necessarily efficient. So again, so we start talking about exceeding about 1.5 grams per kilogram of body weight, or about 0.8 grams per pound. We're getting
See, he's going to measure it out again. That doesn't work like that in bodybuilding.
into an area to where
That's why everybody's failing. Science tells you what builds muscles. Protein synthesis needs to exceed the rate of protein breakdown. You need to be in anabolism to see any muscle. If you're not going to see jack shit. I can prove it.
it's not necessarily helping you gain muscle or make lean gains or anything else anymore.
Yes, it does. It does. Look. All right, so here's the first one I posted, right? One of them. So this is just one. To achieve muscle growth, a state known as muscle protein accretion, the rate of muscle protein synthesis must exceed the rate of muscle protein breakdown over what? Over time. It must over time, otherwise forget it. This creates a positive net protein balance. While both processes are ongoing, activities like resistance training and adaptive dietary protein intake stimulates muscle protein synthesis. See that? Shifting the balance to promote what? Muscle mass gain. Yeah, bro. That's how it works. Now this gives you IGF-1. So higher beef consumption can be linked to increased insulin-like growth factor IGF-1 levels, which promote what? Muscle mass. Yeah, it does. Associated with greater muscle protein synthesis. Yeah, a key factor in muscle growth. It is, bro. Get it? It's the key factor. So yes, periodic resistance training, weightlifting combined with an anabolic environment, sufficient nutrition, particularly protein, does mitigate senescence and myogenic decline by promoting muscle growth, improving muscle cell health, and reducing age-related cellular damage. Yeah, bro, get it? It has so many benefits. This approach counters age-related what? Muscle loss and dysfunction, enhancing overall physical function, insulin sensitivity, and potentially even reversing some aspects of biological aging at a cellular level. Yeah. Yes, an anabolic state promotes easier cell repair, replacement, and regeneration, which what? Helps maintain tissue and muscle mass, but this doesn't necessarily make the body younger. Well, it does. They could say that, but it does over time. Or stop all aging. Well, stop all aging, but it does stop aging. While anabolic processes like protein synthesis are crucial for repairing muscle and bone, see? So listen to what they say. Anabolic processes like protein synthesis, yeah. So if I'm anabolic eating protein all day, right? Like eating massive amounts of it, guess what I get? I get repairing muscle and bone. Bone, bro. I don't need to lift a heavy weight. Bone are stimulated by exercise and hormones like growth factor, IGF-1, . There's a stimulation there, but you don't even need that. Anyways, associated with anabolic, okay, whatever. Yes, this is scientifically supported concept. Humans age when the accumulation of cell. Okay, we already know that one. Higher testosterone levels are associated with what? The exceeding muscle protein breakdown. So you want higher testosterone, exceed muscle protein breakdown, leading to a positive net protein balance that promotes muscle growth and maintenance. See that? There you go. All right. Let's see. The explanation is actually, it's right on. By simply carrying, look, listen to this one. This is Milo. You know Milo the bull, get it? No, a human body cannot build muscle by simply carrying a heavy weight all day if protein synthesis does not exceed the rate of protein breakdown. Get it, dude? To build muscle, your body needs a positive muscle protein balance where synthesis is greater than breakdown, driven by resistance exercise and adequate nutrition while carrying weight, provides resistance. Continuous load without a net positive protein balance will not lead to growth. And for growth to occur, the stimulus must be great enough to trigger the necessary protein synthesis and be supported by a sufficient intake of amino acids from protein. So that's all I gotta say there, dude. I don't know what else to say there. You get the idea.
It may be useful for protein overfeeding in very, very, very large amounts. Okay, so we
no,
have to
so
understand.
no amount of weight that you lift, or walk with is going to build a muscle if protein synthesis doesn't exceed that breakdown.
The value of both carbohydrates and healthy fat. Now, when I say this and I'm promoting higher carb diets, I'm not saying all carbs are equal. I'm not telling you that you should be eating a bunch of refined sugars.
Okay, the reason why a lot of people in the past ate carbs, it was to a lot of bodybuilders that I knew, they always said to spare the protein in our body to build a muscle. That's what they would say. But the truth is this, to spare the protein. Man, this whole sparing thing, yeah, you could say that, but guess that's for people that are really poor. But if you can afford to eat, then guess what? You want to eat a lot of protein and animal fat. And you most likely may want to wing off these carbohydrates, okay? All right, you could let the slaves do the carbohydrates with their protein. Maybe it will help them. It will help them in the end. You get it? But if you truly want to promote health at the same time while you're lifting, then you want to eat just animal products and animal fat. No seed oils, no plants, nothing.
Okay, so I want to be clear on that. No one's telling you to be eating table sugar or high fructose corn syrup or all these refined sugars. This is not what I.
That's cause glycation. That's garbage. You're gonna break your collagen down even faster by stressing your body 6 days a week in the gym.
I'm saying when we're talking carbohydrates, I'm talking starchy carbohydrates.
And this is the look that you get. This look. It's what you're gonna get.
In many cases, higher fiber forms, right? Such as oats, whole grains, legumes.
Whole grains, fiber. What did he say? Oats for horses, bro? He's crazy. All this stuff will destroy you. These legumes and everything. He's nuts. Peasant. This is peasant food because he's a peasant and a slave. Survival food, bro. He's a peasant, slave, can't afford meat or animal fat. That's why he's talking like this.
Right? These are a really good start.
Yeah, they're really good to destroy you and stunt your growth and everything, especially if you're growing. You won't fully mature.
But in many cases, sure, it can still be white rice. It can be white potatoes.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Listen, man, if you want a small dick, all right, if you're a guy out there, you want to create a small dick and have small testicles, well, this is it. Listen to Blaha. This is the formula, okay? How you can keep yourself small, not fully matured, and have a small dick and nuts.
White potatoes are great. So, but we're talking about starchy carbohydrates or very fibrous carbohydrates or even fruit, right? Fruit in the context.
Fruit, very fibrous carbohydrates. Look, I've been eating a little bit of fruit at the buffet recently. A couple of times I had some fruit. But you know what? I've been thinking about it, and I think I should not eat any fruit whatsoever because it's bad for you. That's all. The fructose that's in it. So I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna quit that. That's all. I'm simply gonna stop doing that.
Of a whole food, not a fruit juice, not squeezed out and the fiber and pulp removed. Fruit.
I never drink juice, man. I just drink water. I drink water. I drink some beef blood. I have uncooked beef blood, and I drink some milk sometimes. I go to the pet store and I buy goat's milk. So they have fucking fermented goat's milk there. I can buy it there at least. It's raw.
These are the sort of carbohydrates I'm talking about. Okay, in other words, beans, rice, potatoes, stuff like this.
Beans, rice, and potatoes, slave food.
Watermelon, these are what I mean by
destroys your physique.
Eating a higher carb diet in terms of benefits, right? We need to be thinking of what improves insulin sensitivity, not what reduces it. Okay, because that is kind of
that increase insulin sensitivity. He says sensitivity or increase insulin because it's anabolic.
The point of all this, even with the healthy fats, right? Insulin sensitivity is king. Obviously, weightlifting is about the...
Man, you're going to be insulin sensitive if protein synthesis exceeds the rate of protein breakdown. You're going to be insulin sensitive.
Best thing we can do in terms of our...
And you're increasing IGF-1.
Activity, obviously, other stuff like cardio conditioning work is still beneficial here. In fact, there can be some synergistic benefits. But, in terms of diet, we need to be looking at what's going to improve insulin sensitivity. Well, that's going to be usually starchy or carbs with some extra fiber. So even...
No, that's not going to improve insulin sensitivity. These fiber and carbs. Fucking protein is going to increase insulin sensitivity, even though weightlifting already opens a window for that.
And so people say, well, how come you'll sometimes say the white rice? Because white rice mixed with vegetables?
Hell no, man. White rice has arsenic in it. You crazy.
Works extremely well. Like if you're throwing plenty of broccoli and carrots or even extra potatoes or sweet potatoes in there, it still is very viable. And particularly...
Again, those are fucking... those are survival foods. People ate them, these hunters, whatever. Cassava, like tubers called cassava. They would dig them up and eat them when they couldn't get any of these animals in the forest. They had a poor hunt.
The context of when we mix with healthy fats, right? So we're looking at insulin response, we're looking at training fuel. So insulin is not this bad thing either. Insulin is insanely anabolic to muscle tissue.
Insulin is a bad thing? Insulin is only ever good when you're in anabolism. Protein synthesis exceeds that breakdown.
And in the normal ranges, it's great for body composition, right? So people who have a healthy insulin response, you should be eating insulin.
Those are your natural anabolic hormones in your body, insulin. That happens to be one, or IGF-1 or whatever. These are natural, your natural testosterone, DH or whatever. Men, dihydrotestosterone. These are naturals that your body produces. Fuck. These aren't hormones that are created in a lab and you're injecting them artificially. Some kind of plant fucking hormone. That will give you a cosmetic look because your body has never been introduced to D-ball before or Sustanon 250. They don't exist in the human body. So when people inject synthetic hormones, it gives them a cosmetic look, a very artificial cosmetic look. It doesn't give you a natural look because it's not based on your natural hormones.
Ketogenic foods for gaining muscle. It is not going to cause fat gain and these other problems. People start talking about, well, what about spiking your insulin? You can't. If you are lifting really hard, you're relatively lean, and your diet is geared towards insulin sensitivity, you can't spike your insulin. This doesn't happen. White rice is still not going to do it particularly. Okay, so we need to understand that. So we should be chasing these insulin-agenic
White rice isn't going to do it? Right, man, this guy's making up stuff.
foods. And we'll get back over and talk about that in a minute. So let's talk a little bit about why healthy fats. And so let's should define what we mean by healthy fats. Generally, MUFAs and PUFAs, polyunsaturated and monounsaturated fats coming from minimally refined sources. So I'm not telling you to drink a bunch of seed oils. I still don't think they're the worst thing in the world by any means. They're nowhere near as bad as saturated fat. The evidence supports that. But I'm not telling you.
They are bad. Do not do any seed oils. Do saturated animal fat. That's the best for you. You're made out of it.
Go dump canola oil in your food. Let me be clear. So when I say healthy fats from MUFAs and PUFAs, I'm talking natural peanut butter, nuts, seeds.
Do not eat peanuts, nuts, or seeds. Do not eat them. You can't digest them. And they're not good for you. They're fucking got shit in there. They're poisonous.
If you're struggling to get enough calories, natural peanut butter is the bomb.
No, don't ever eat peanut butter. Man. Peanut butter, they're not nuts. They're peanuts. They're peas. They're peas that are grown in the ground. They grow in the ground. They're garbage.
Okay, but avocados, like this is one of my top ones. Avocados, nuts and seeds.
They're just seeds.
Oh man, we up at the...
Don't eat avocados either. Avocados also are not good for bodybuilding. I'm not joking. I know people are they're so used to eating these fucking slave foods, bro. And they're gonna say, yeah, but they're all eating and everybody else is eating, so I should eat it too. Look, man, if everybody was to fucking jump off the Empire State Building, does that mean you should fucking jump off too, bro? Get it. Christ. Just because everybody's eating fucking, what do you call it? Fucking stupid avocados and all these other things. That doesn't mean that you should be eating it too. Jesus Christ. You know, man, slaves of a feather stick together, bro. Get it? Jeez Christ.
Top of the list. Avocados, amazing, right? It's mostly oleic acid.
He talks like all the other peasant slaves. Avocados, they're so good. Everybody else is eating them, so they must be good. Oh, they had this epidemiology study, right? Which is not science. Oh, it says it's good for you. Okay.
Acid like you would get from extra virgin olive oil. So anyone who's talking about the benefits of extra virgin olive oil.
Extra virgin olive oil doesn't exist. It doesn't exist.
Go eat some avocados. See, you're getting the exact same fat. It's the same.
If you live in a colder climate, you got access to avocados? No. You wouldn't be eating any avocados.
Fatty acid change is the same molecule.
So why are you eating avocados? Why are you eating avocados? If that's not your native food, avocado, why are you eating it? Wherever you come from, I don't know. Now people are going to say, well, this is native to our country. I don't know that. Maybe it's been farmed and engineered in that country. So is it native too as well there? I don't know, okay? It's not something you would do as a carnivore animal. A dog wouldn't just run up and eat like avocado. Maybe if they were starving, they're dying.
Right? But it's got a lot of antioxidants, plenty of fiber, kind of like olives do. So olives would work too.
Yeah. Plenty of antioxidants, the plant antioxidants, which will destroy you, and plenty of fiber to back up your system to be anti-nutrient and these toxins to become anti-nutrient. A nice recipe in there in your belly. Okay.
But nuts, seeds, particularly if they're
promote inflammation.
A little higher in omega-3, like walnuts, right? Great choice.
Way to add a little fun to your day.
Walnuts, almonds are a good choice. So any of those, but nuts and seeds in general.
Almonds, walnuts, good choices. They're not good, man. Listen to the way he sounds like a squirrel. Let's go and hunt and look for seeds and nuts. Yeah, okay.
Healthy fats.
He's nuts.
Particularly healthy fats in a whole food source with fiber added. This is going to improve insulin sensitivity.
Yeah, the only healthy fat is animal fat. That's what you want. It's going to improve, yes, insulin sensitivity, animal fat.
So these fats all improve insulin sensitivity. They all lower inflammation. Don't let people tell you, oh, no, they're pro-inflammatory. Study after study after study after study around the world shows they reduce inflammation. All right, this is beneficial for training recovery.
Holy shit.
Like, before we even get into the heart health then. But yeah, they're absolutely heart healthy. Reduced inflammation. But they're going to help with exercise recovery. But big part of it, the improved insulin sensitivity. Okay, these foods enhance insulin sensitivity. This is beneficial for muscle growth. The higher your insulin sensitivity
they do.
Is, the easier it is to make lean gains while minimizing fat. So these fats literally do that. In and of themselves molecularly, but then when you think about it, so you're eating these sort of fats, it does the same thing with the carbohydrates you eat, just like the fibrous carbs. Case in point, white rice mixed with avocado, you're going to absolutely slow down the absorption, but you're still going to get the nice, easy digestion benefit of the white rice. But you can do it with brown rice too. It still works, right? So that's a perfect example of what we mean. It's avocado, and you can blend it up and make guacamole and mix it in there. Also works great. Avocado mixed.
Avocado, guacamole, man. No real hunter in the past would ever stop and eat any of these fucking things. They would probably look at you and laugh at you and say, look at the slave eating that garbage food. You see people sitting around tables, right? They're like eating meat and stuff, mutton chops and all that in the round table, whatever. And they're looking at some guy eating his slave food. What do you think they would think? Would you want to be part of that? Would you want to be part of that? No, you want to be part of the group that's eating the meat. You don't want to be the one left out eating the slave food. But this is what I mean. So these slaves, like Blaha, he doesn't want you to be left out of the group. Get it? The slave food group. Because you got to eat the nuts and seeds and peanut butter and what is it? These nuts and shit and all that. Yeah, that's the slave, the peasant slave thing. Yeah.
with your carbohydrates or any of these, right? You could take oatmeal and mix oats or natural peanut butter or something with it. The same thing. We're getting over to taking these starchy carbohydrates that we need for insulin response, we need for training fuel, we need as our primary fuel source.
We don't need them. The primary fuel source of your mitochondria is animal fat. It's a known fact. All right? I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying you can't wing it with a complex carbohydrate like potatoes. But the primary source is animal fat. The problem is it's hard for people to consume a lot of animal fat. That's all. Because you're using it for unnatural means like lifting and sports and probably working in a factory. So it's not like you're going to keep consuming it. And that was the problem. The problem is you have to keep consuming it if you're doing specific things. And they didn't have enough to feed the slaves. Get it? So they fed the slaves the peasant food energy diets. That's the thing. We aren't peasant slaves today. We have access to animal fat and animals. So I'm telling you right now, if I were all of you out there, I would try to wing it on animal fat. See what I mean? If you can afford to eat it enough. But if you can't afford to eat it, that means you just don't have money. And so you're going to have to wing it on a complex carbohydrate. That's another reason. That, and because sometimes people are lazy eaters. It's more about, again, here's that word, convenience. And if everything is so convenient, man, you really can't make it, bro, in this world. You can't make it.
But also our training fuel for any high output activity. You're now getting a healthier, more controlled insulin response.
Think about it. Have you watched all the max looking channels? What do they eat when they start max looking? Raw meat, bro. They eat animal fat and raw meat, and all of a sudden their facial features, their skin, everything fucking looks better. So think about it. If you're trying to promote health and look really good, what are they doing exactly there? They stopped the slave food. What did they start eating? Real food, meat and animal fat. And then they got what? They got a better look. Did the gym create that, lifting weights? Did weights create the max look? No, absolutely not. What created max looking? The look on those guys? Fucking raw meat and animal fat, bro. Get it? That's what created it.
Sugar response.
What destroyed their look? Here's the question. What destroyed their look? The slave food peasant diet is what destroyed their look. Like, look at Blaha. What do you think has destroyed his look? Peasant slave food and him exercising his body to death 6-7 days a week in a garage.
By mixing them with these, the net effect is improved insulin sensitivity, improved anabolic response. This is insanely beneficial for building muscle. And
no, it's not. It's not insanely beneficial if there's nothing for it to build. That's another thing.
again, building muscle and making lean gains, even recomposition.
It isn't. He's just blurting out what other peasant, slave, fitness YouTubers, influencers online do. And there's a lot of peasant, slave, fitness influencers on YouTube, like Alex Leonidas, Mike O'Hearn is one of them. There's so many of them, bro. The Trend Twins, this, that. There's just so many. There's Jeff Nippert is another one. There's so many peasant, slave influencers online.
This is the way you should be eating if you want to be recompositioning also. So these things.
No, that's the way you should be eating if you want to look like Blaha. Now, if you want to look like a looks maxer, then you should be eating high animal fat and meat, okay?
Critical, right? So yeah, once those proteins or needs are met, going in and filling in everything else that you want to eat with healthy carbohydrates, nice clean carbs like we're discussing, with healthy fats, such as examples of what I gave, and even you could say even fatty fish in that.
Yeah, I love how he says healthy fats, the seed oils and nuts and seeds and all that. Okay, whatever.
Context too, if you wanted an animal source. will help you reach these goals. All right, guys, but that's really
If you
all
want an animal source help you reach these goals, yeah, animal source is it, dude.
I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative. I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.
Yeah, very informative. Do not listen to him. That's how informative it is. Go your own path, dude. Don't go the peasant slave path.